If you think you've seen wickedness, wait until you hear what this mother did in the dark corners of Lagos. In the heart of Lagos, where the streets never truly sleep, 12-year-old Amora lived in a small, dim room behind a noisy bar. Her mother, Ojugo, spent her nights whispering to strange men, leading them behind the curtains while pretending Amora was just helping with chores. But deep down, Amora knew what was happening. She felt it in her bones. She felt it in every frightened breath. Every night, Ojugo would dress Amora in clothes she hated, tight, uncomfortable dresses that made her feel exposed. The girl wanted to scream, but her voice had grown weak over years of silence. All she knew was fear, shadows, and the sound of men laughing in the hallway. And unknown to everyone, someone else had been watching. The person who would change her destiny had been closer than anyone realized. Across the street, a silent stranger always stood near a suyo stand, wearing the same black cap and watching the bar every night. People thought he was just another Lagos man hustling for survival, but his eyes said something else. He was waiting for a reason to act. His name was Chinedu, but no one knew him here. One rainy night, he saw Amora through the cracked window, her eyes swollen from crying. Something inside him snapped. He didn't know her, but he felt connected to her pain. And right there, he decided he would find out what Ojugo was doing to that child, even if it meant stepping into danger. Just when you think a mother cannot go lower, Ojugo proves you wrong. Ojugo was drowning in debt. Years of chasing fast money had left her empty, and now she owed a dangerous street gang more than she could ever pay. Every night she promised them she would bring the money tomorrow, but tomorrow never came. So she decided to use the only thing she had left, her daughter. She made secret deals behind the bar, whispering prices to men who didn't care if a child was involved. As long as the door stayed closed, Lagos would look away. Ojugo kept telling herself she had no choice. But the truth? She had simply lost her so long ago. One scream. One moment. One witness. That was all it was. One night, a heavy storm struck the city. Thunder shook the buildings while the bar filled with drunk, careless men. Amora, terrified, tried to run when one of Ojugo's customers grabbed her. Her small voice broke loose at a scream she had held in for years. Chinedu heard it from across the street. He didn't hesitate. He ran through the storm, pushed through the bar's door, and confronted Ojugo and the man. Everyone froze. No one had ever challenged her before. And in that moment, Chinedu knew he had stepped into a darkness far bigger than he expected. Once the truth starts to show, danger follows immediately. Chinedu walked out with Amora's hand in his, leaving Ojugo shocked. She had never seen anyone defy her business. The men inside threatened Chinedu, but he didn't flinch. He only whispered to Amora, "You're safe now. I won't let anyone touch you again." But outside, in the rain, he gave her the first warning. "People will come for you. And they will come for me. Your mother has debts, and now you are part of the fight." Amora trembled as lightning flashed above them. She didn't know this man, but she felt safer with him than she ever felt with her own mother. Every escape comes with a price, and theirs was only beginning. Chinedu carried Amora through narrow alleys to avoid Ojugo's gang. He knew Lagos too well, every shortcut, every hiding spot, every blind corner. Amora held on tightly as they ran past broken buildings and midnight markets. For once, she felt like someone actually wanted to protect her. They hid in a small, abandoned shop near Baligan Market. Rain dripped through holes in the roof. Chinedu wrapped her in his jacket. "This is not where you belong," he said softly. "Your life is bigger than their evil." Amora's tears finally slowed. For the first time, she dared to believe him. A wicked mother is most dangerous when she feels she's losing control. When Ojugo discovered Amora was gone, she exploded into rage. She called the gang, shouting that someone had stolen her property. She didn't save my daughter. She said, property. The men searched the streets with bikes and machetes, promising to send a message to whoever interfered. Ojugo sat alone in the dark bar, breathing heavily. She wasn't angry because Amara was missing. She was angry because her income was gone. The more she thought about it, the more she swore, I will get her back. Nobody will ruin my business. Sometimes the truth you hear can break you, or set you free. At the shop, Chinedu told Amara the truth. He was once a child like her, abused, sold, forgotten. He escaped at 16 and promised himself that he would save anyone he could. I saw myself in your eyes, he said gently. That's why I stepped in. Amara listened with wide, shaking eyes. For the first time, she realized she wasn't alone in her pain. Someone understood her. Someone knew the darkness she lived in. And that understanding created a bond stronger than blood. Just when things seem calm, danger finds its way back. At dawn, the gang found the abandoned shop. Chinedu heard their footsteps before they entered and grabbed Amara's hand. Run! Don't look back. They sprinted out the back door just as the men burst inside with loud shouts. Through crowded morning traffic, Chinedu and Amara ran until their legs burned. The gang followed on bikes, cutting through the road dangerously fast. Lagos became a maze of horns, yelling drivers, and narrow escapes. It was a chase that would change everything. What they found behind that old door was the beginning of hope. Chinedu led Amara to a quiet, old house at the edge of an abandoned railway. The door opened gently, revealing an elderly woman named Momakaik, someone Chinedu trusted with his life. She welcomed Amara with warm eyes and soft hands. Inside the house, everything felt safe. No shouting. No men. No fear. Momakaik cooked warm food for Amara and promised her, "You're safe here, child. Nobody will harm you under my roof." For the first time, Amara felt the meaning of comfort. Behind every monster, there is a broken story. Meanwhile, Ojugo drank herself sick as memories from her past returned. She had been abused as a child too. Sold by her own relatives. Used by strangers. Trapped in a cycle she never escaped. She hated her life, and somehow she hated Amara for being the reminder of everything she lost. But instead of protecting her daughter, Ojugo became the same evil she once feared. Her past did not break her, it twisted her. And now the consequences of her choices were catching up. Justice moves slowly, but when it moves, nothing stops it. Chinedu went to the police and reported Ojugo and the gang. At first, the officers didn't take him seriously, cases like this were too common. But when he showed them photos and recordings from the night before, the room went silent. They realized this was bigger than just one child. An official investigation began. Officers followed the trail back to the bar, the men, and Ojugo's secret deals. The police were preparing to make arrests. The city was about to witness a story that would shake the whole neighborhood. The day Amara faced her mother again would change everything. The police arrested the gang first, cornering them at the bar. Ojugo tried to run, but one officer grabbed her by the arm. When she saw Amara standing outside with Chinedu, her heart almost stopped. Amara didn't hide this time, she stood strong. Ojugo shouted that Amara was lying. She blamed Chinedu. She blamed death. She blamed everyone except herself. But Amara finally spoke, "You sold me. You hurt me. I'm not your property." For the first time in her life, Ojugo felt powerless. Every evil has a day of repayment, this was hers. In court, evidence came out, photos, witness statements, the gang's confessions. Ojugo's actions shocked everyone. She stood trembling as the judge condemned her crimes. There was no escape for her anymore. Amara watched silently as the mother who sold her was taken away in handcuffs. She felt no joy, no hate, only release. A heavy chain had fallen off her life. She could breathe again. Pain doesn't end quickly, but healing always starts somewhere. Chinedu and Momakike became Amora's guardians. She went to school for the first time in her life. She learned how to write, how to read, and how to smile without fear. Some nights she still cried, but now there were arms around her, safe arms, reminding her she wasn't alone. Chinedu promised her, "Your future will be brighter than your past." Amora believed him. She knew life had finally given her the chance she deserved. And just like that, the girl no one looked at became a story the whole city would never forget. Years later, Amora became an advocate for children who suffered like she did. She spoke in schools, churches, and communities across Lagos. People listened because her voice carried truth and pain and hope. Her destiny changed the day one stranger stepped into a storm to protect her. And now, she used her life to protect others. Amora was no longer a victim, she was a light in the same darkness that tried to swallow her.